what are some of the techniques for people to quiet that part of the brain?
So, so that's a great question. And there's really three general mechanisms that people have come up with that quiet that part of the brain. The first thing is you have to cultivate your ability to be self-aware. Because if you're not aware that you're working from either habits or from fear or from anxiety or just copying what everybody else is doing, then you can't change. So first of all, self-awareness. Now, sometimes just being self-aware is enough to change it. Like I can be in a situation and it's like there's my limbic mind, and just realizing that, boom, I could be playful and curious again. Sometimes after realizing it, you can do self-talk and a number of other solutions. Like if you if you're sure you can't do something, you can't just say to yourself, well, I know I can do it. Or worse, somebody can't say to you, oh, come on, you can do this. It's easy. Because that triggers you to fight against it. So you have to use, self-talk that opens up your brain. So instead of saying, when you hear your voice saying, I can't do this, perhaps maybe just say to yourself, perhaps I can. And so you're not arguing with it. And your brain can't help but start coming up with ways that you could do it with a phrase like perhaps I can. So there's phrases that work for that for virtually anything where you're locked in, using your survival brain, self-talk mechanisms that you can use. And then the third thing is, sometimes you just have to really quiet that brain, and you do that through distraction. So it could be meditation, it could be mindfulness, it could be taking a walk someplace, especially a walk in nature. It could be doing some art or looking at some art, some hobby dancing, listening to music. So something that just calms that parts of the brain, and then you can do your self-talk and maybe ask your heart or ask your gut, what would I really want to happen at this time? And then go into that playful mode and tap into the powers of the prefrontal cortex.
That is awesome. And as you're saying that, I could picture myself during certain times. I'm like, if I'm going through some big challenges, you know what? I'll stop, turn on some music, kind of drown myself in that for a bit, and then start asking the questions. Well, if it's either can't or maybe. It's
Yep.
either no or hey, let's try it out. And once you start opening that up, you start being more playful, more creative as to possibilities instead
Hmm.
of like hard no's.
Right.
And
Oh, sorry.
yeah, go ahead.
I was going to say a couple weeks ago, you had a guest. I probably am pronouncing her name wrong. Saki Kajita.
Yeah.
And I mean, first of all, there's so much that she talked about, which was really cool. One of the things she talked about was language learning, right? Because she speaks three languages, and she was talking about how kids have this willingness be, to make mistakes because they're going at it from a sense of play and curiosity, whereas adults are saying, "Oh, gee, what if I mispronounce it? What if somebody makes fun of me?" But as an adult, you could go into that mode. You can approach it from, something, I'm going to make a game out of this. Okay, I'm going to see, how long I can continue to talk in this language, even though the other people want me to continue to talk in my first language. Or, I'm every time I make a mistake and somebody corrects me, I'm going to laugh at it. And so you can change your whole mindset. And that's something that she brought up in her talk.
Yeah. One, two, three. So the word is essential oil. If you were to use essential oil as a metaphor for success, how is success like essential oils?
So when you use an essential oil, a lot of that is the fragrance of the oil, which then penetrates into your deepest core, evoking memories and a feeling of happiness and joy. And evoking that feeling of happiness and joy and memories, whether you're projecting in the future or you're thinking in the past, is probably one of the best ways to live a happy life.
I see that. And so that's how success is like essential oils.